But I would caution from day one, if you talk to actual smart football people, like if you talk to people that aren't just out making big hyperbolic statements, the conversation was always it could take a little bit of time. They're going to have to figure out the right usage. Deion says they're not doing the right way. What do you think?
Well, if you just look at his numbers, Travis Hunter hasn't been overly impactful really on either side of the ball. He is the one, two, three, fifth leading receiver for the Jags. 10 catches for 76 yards over 3 games. Like, that's not really anything that really wows you. And then defensively, Travis Hunter, I think, has one pass breakup and 9 total tackles, 6 of those solos. I mean, like, that's not nothing. And look, it's not to take away from the fact that Travis Hunter is playing both sides in the National Football League. Just that in and of itself is incredibly impressive. But playing both sides in the NFL is not the same as playing both sides in college football. Although it was wildly impressive, and Travis Hunter was very deserving of all of the Heisman votes and the Heisman Trophy that he did get, honoring what he was doing on both sides of the ball. Like, this isn't the Big 12, this is the National Football League. So, yes, just based off of the stats and the numbers alone, he hasn't been overly impactful, and the Jags traded the farm to trade up and get him. So, you would expect a return on your investment when you invest as much as the Jags did to get Travis Hunter. And also, the other side of that is I'll trust Deion because Deion did it. He said it right there. I did it for 3 years, and he was able to so expertly and so perfectly, it felt like, develop Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball, use him on both sides of the ball to the point that he was a high first round draft pick and a Heisman Trophy winner. So, like, yes, on this, I defer to Deion. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to using Travis Hunter.
I struggle with this. I struggle with this because I have so much respect for what Travis did in college and so much respect for how Coach Prime used him. And I think it was a brilliant marriage. But I also don't really think that most of us will be flocking to whatever Lane Kiffin has to say about the usage of Jackson Dart. And part of the reason we're going to do that, part of the reason we won't do that is because the NFL game is so different than the college game in so many ways. So, like, at some point, are we looking around to the college coaches of Marvin Harrison Jr. to ask why Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't become the wide receiver in the NFL that many thought he would be? It's just, this is hard for me. And the problem that I have
is different, though.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's different. You know, you can be an expert at developing a quarterback. We have so many of those in the NFL, whether it's Sean McVay as an offensive genius or KOC, give him plenty of love on this show. Is there an expert on balancing a duo wide receiver corner in the NFL? No.
No. Like, but there's also,
if anyone is an expert at it, I would say it's Deion.
I would say that Deion is an expert at doing it. And Deion was an expert at developing it at the college level. How much does that translate? I mean, if college success translated to NFL success simply from what you do, then Tim Tebow would have been an epic quarterback, and he wasn't. And I know I'm going back to quarterbacks. I know it's a much different example. For me, I think that the approach has been wrong from day one. And I'll be honest about this. Like, I just think that when the Jags drafted him, what you needed to decide, not where he's going to play forever. You needed to decide, in my mind, in the beginning, where can he have the most success and growth in year one? And just commit to that one thing. Be great at one thing before you try to be great at two. I know he wants to play at two positions, and I know he's deserving of the opportunity to play at two positions. I'm not saying he shouldn't get there. But when you think about the timing of it, you are drafted in April, and all of a sudden in May, you're figuring out, okay, what life looks like. You're learning a playbook. You're buying a house. You're doing all these things, and you're adjusting to what life as a professional athlete is like. And the number of guys I've talked to that in their rookie year will tell you, man, it's just all so different. From the team atmosphere to the coaching to the way players approach it, it's all so different. Why put all of that on him and then also put him in two positions at once? And this is something on Inside Coverage Jory Epstein talked about repeatedly, that you've got to think about the amount of time in meetings. How is he going to balance his time in not just time on the field, but time in meetings? I know he says I have plenty of time to break down the film, but I guess my question is, why not focus on becoming great at one position and then add the other one in? That to me would have made more sense, because right now what you have is sort of a fraction of what Travis is capable of doing on offense and a fraction of what he's capable of doing on defense. And I don't know how you expect that to change if at any point you're splitting any of his attention on development at one particular task. I love the appeal of playing both ways. I just think that if you're going to play on both sides of the ball, it needs a very calculated long-term approach to do it.
I will agree 1000% with you on that. That needs to be the number one priority is let's pick one side of the ball. And obviously we kind of all assumed with Liam Cohen being an offensive-minded head coach, it would be on the offensive side of the ball. But let's pick one side of the ball and get you really comfortable with that. Let's get you comfortable and acclimated to the NFL game before we throw the other side at you. And look, Travis Hunter will be the first one to say that it's a challenge that he would take on wholeheartedly and head on. And I think that's great. But that's also the job of a coaching staff is to save a certain player from themselves and put them on the correct plan and path to the most success. That everybody said, oh, the Jags are brilliant. The Jags are getting 2-1 in Travis Hunter. Yes, that's true in a way. Are you getting 2-1 or are you getting half and half? Are you getting half a receiver, half of the production from a receiver, and half from a corner? Because at Colorado, it was 2-1. And I will agree with you. The college game is wildly different than the NFL, which is exactly why I would have taken a different approach in the NFL. Let Travis Hunter be a receiver first. Or if you think he's a better corner, if you think he's going to be more impactful for your game and for your team, make him a corner first. But doing the half and half and splitting of your time and splitting of the snaps and him having to get up to speed in the NFL at two different positions, you're throwing too much at him. And that is coming from someone that has all of the respect in the world for Travis Hunter, from someone who has all of the belief that he can play both positions. But doing it right now, week 4 in your NFL career, throwing both at him, it does feel like too much. How much more impactful can he be becoming an expert at one position? I would say he will be much more impactful at one position than he is 50% at both.
But Caroline, I think this is also indicative of a bigger problem in sports media, and sports fandom right now. And the problem is the immediate expectation of return on investment is wild to me. We are 3 weeks into Travis Hunter's career, and somebody's trying to make an indictment of how he's being used already. Like, my God, we haven't even let the process start to play out. Like, we don't even know the identity yet of Liam Cohen, the head coach. We don't know the identity of what this offense is really going to blossom into. We know so little about who the Jags will be. And we are in such an immediate reaction society right now that we're doing this across the landscape. People want to make draftees a bust or a massive success after only weeks in the league. And I don't understand it. Like, I get that we spend so much time prepping for the draft and covering the draft and getting to the draft, and then we get so excited for the draft that the minute we draft somebody, we're like, oh, this is it. This is the franchise savior. This is going to be the toy that makes everything better. Like, I get that that's where we are, but that's not real. I keep saying this. We do not live in an Ozempic society in sports. You cannot simply take an injection and suddenly make everything go away. If you want to see your team get better, it takes time. It takes development. And we're not even giving rookies a month before we decide that the way they're being used is wrong. The worst thing that we could do now to Travis Hunter, in my opinion, is suddenly start changing the plan that we should have had from day one. You should have walked in day one with a plan, how you're going to execute it and how you are going to make him a great player while you make your team a great team. And that plan could take all year, but you got to let it cook. The fact that we are 3 weeks in and now we already have extra cooks in the kitchen, like, if I have barely even gotten my steaks marinated, I don't need you to stand over me and tell me how to grill them. And that's what's happening across the board with every single rookie. It's exhausting. How can we possibly, like, the real answer is not a single one of us knows a damn thing about any of these rookies that have played 3 weeks. It's got to stop. So, like, I hear coach come in and say, I know how he should be used. I know how he should be developed. And to that, I would say, I appreciate your insight, but let's at least let the guys that have been paid millions of dollars for this organization to do that exact thing have a chance to do it. And we're not allowing that. It's disgusting to me. Guess what, y'all? We don't know if rookies are going to be great or they're going to be terrible. And we don't know that in 3 weeks. We won't know that in 8 weeks. Sometimes we won't even know that as we start season 2. And if you can ever accept that, man, the entire process of growth in the NFL would get so much easier for you to digest. I don't understand why after 3 weeks we even have an indictment on where Travis Hunter is.
Welcome to the NFL. People get hired and fired for the plans that they make and the decisions that they make. You don't always have ample time to figure out, do we really need a couple of more weeks to decide if we're doing the right thing? Do we need to really confirm and make sure that we're going down the wrong path? Time is of the essence in the National Football League. The shelf life of a coach can be that of a gallon of milk in the National Football League. So, do you really need to marinate on your decisions, or do you need to make quick decisions?
Organizations. Good organizations decide that Jordan Love's going to be the answer, whether any of us get it or not, and they let him work through the rust of the first half of the
But I
season,
think
and they let him.
quarterback development is different. I think quarterback, we have to throw everything that we know about developing young quarterbacks out the window when we apply that same kind of thought process to Travis Hunter. Because I'm with you that we need to take time to develop quarterbacks, that maybe there is a quarterback development problem happening and it's a trickle up effect. We're having a quarterback development problem in college football, or having a quarterback development problem in the National Football League. And I think that's why there's such a massive gap between the elite of the elites in the league and then the Kirk Cousins of the league. No offense to Kirk Cousins. But if you're looking at Travis Hunter and what you invested into Travis Hunter, and you can see why is he not making a larger impact for our football team? Yes, it's through 3 weeks, but we can all see it. At some point, you do have to walk back and adjust, because you talk about the plan. Everybody's got a plan until they get smacked in the mouth. At some point, you have to make those adjustments, because the development of Travis Hunter and the impact of Travis Hunter, I think, is at the core of the future of this football team, obviously along with Trevor Lawrence.